Washington Commanders have a new quarterback, and it is former Falcons and Tennessee Titans quarterback and last year Philadelphia Eagle quarterback Marcus Mariota, signing him to a one-year deal, $6 million base, $10 million max if he hits all of the incentives. We're going to be breaking down this move and what this means for Sam Howell, what this means for their draft plans at number 2 overall, because this move definitely, I think, tells us a lot about what the Commanders are going to be looking for at the quarterback position heading into 2024. Before we get into today's action, make sure you guys click that subscribe button. This is already our 5th breaking news video on the Commanders report over the last 2 days, all right? And I don't think GM Adam Peters is done just yet. So make sure you guys click that subscribe button. The Commanders still have a ton of cap space to work with here. So make sure you click that subscribe button because I'm guessing we're going to have more breaking news before the day ends, and you're not going to want to miss that. So make sure you click that subscribe button right now and join our family. All right, so let's get into Marcus Mariota. And then let's look at the career stats here because, you know, he's a former starter with the Tennessee Titans. Of course, he was drafted there back in 2015, number 2 overall. Again, that was the Jameis Winston-Mariota draft, coming off a Heisman Trophy. And, you know, it's just not been very good for Marcus Mariota. Now, the touchdown-interception ratio is better than I think some people might say that they might think it is. You know, it's 93 to 55. That's not bad at all. And then the quarterback rating is at an 89.2, which is decent, but probably below average. The completion percentage is fine. But, you know, the last time that we've seen Marcus Mariota in a starting role for a team, it was back in 2022 with the Atlanta Falcons there with Arthur Smith. And again, Arthur Smith made Ryan Tannehill look like a bona fide franchise quarterback in 2019 and 2020 with the Tennessee Titans. And not even he could help Marcus Mariota. 61.3% completion percentage, just over 2,200 yards. Again, he left the team that year because they replaced him with Ritter, and he was just like, I'm Audi 5000, my friend. I'm out of here. And then 15 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. He can protect the football. That's something that Marcus Mariota can do. But at the end of the day, man, he doesn't really get the ball in the end zone. He doesn't really provide much dynamic playmaking for you. He can run a little bit. He's got athleticism. But at the end of the day, man, a 5-8 record there with the Atlanta Falcons and eventually got replaced by Desmond Ritter. And we all know that Desmond Ritter ain't it either. So the contract details here for Marcus Mariota. Last year, he spent with the Philadelphia Eagles, backing up Jalen Hurts. And some Eagles fans, in fact, many Eagles fans, like Tanner McKee in the way that he played more than Marcus Mariota when Jalen Hurts went out for a short stints last year. So here's the contract details for Marcus. It's going to be a one-year contract, $6 million base, $10 million max. So this is a contract that's set up where if Marcus is, for some reason, thrusted in as the starter of this football team next year, then he's going to make about $10 million, which is like a bridge quarterback type contract. But if he's the backup, he's only going to be making about $6 million. So that's where it really stands right now. So let me know what you guys think down there in the comments section. What is your one-word reaction to signing Marcus Mariota, the quarterback, here in the nation's capital? I'm going to let you guys know my one-word reaction here in just a second, but this is going to be the pinned comment on today's show. So whenever YouTube throws you an ad break here, it should happen in just a couple of seconds. Take advantage of that time by giving me your one-word reaction down there in the comments. So my one-word reaction, guys, is blah, because I don't like this signing, all right? Plain and simply, I think you're overpaying for him. I don't think that he's played good football over the last 2 seasons, and, you know, I mean, at the end of the day, I still like Sam Howell as my number 2 quarterback. I mean, we think we all knew that the Commanders are going to take a quarterback at number 2 overall, but Sam Howell is somebody that has a chemistry with the receiving core here with Terry McLaurin and Jahan Dotson and De'Ami Brown, right? He's got chemistry with those guys, and he's played in the National Football League as a starter for a complete season. So he was somebody that I was okay having as a backup quarterback, somebody that's not afraid to push the ball down the field, somebody that had some good moments last year as the starting quarterback of this football team. And I really didn't think it was necessary for Dan Quinn and Adam Peters to use any of their cap space this year on a backup quarterback like Marcus Mariota, especially somebody in Mariota that has not played well over the last couple of seasons. This is not a move that I like. This is not a move that I think is conducive to winning. I think that if the new rookie, whoever they end up drafting at number 2, gets hurt, I would trust Sam Howell to win those games as the backup more than I would Marcus Mariota. And because Sam Howell was a 5th-round pick a couple of seasons ago, he is immensely more affordable than Marcus Mariota. So I don't understand this move from Dan Quinn and Adam Peters. I think like some of their other moves this week, like Dorrance Armstrong and Tyler Biadasz, I think they might have slightly overpaid for Marcus Mariota. And because of this move, you're bringing in Marcus Mariota and you're paying him what you're paying him to be the number 2 quarterback here in Washington. And who knows, he might even be the week 1 frickin' starter here in the nation's capital, which would be a complete disaster. I think he'd be replaced by week 4 if that was the case and the rookie would be thrusted in. But, let's talk a little bit now about what this means for Sam Howell, because I think that bringing in a backup quarterback and paying $6 million for him tells me that they're open to trading Sam Howell to somebody, whether that be like the Denver Broncos or whether that be like the Minnesota Vikings, even though they signed Sam Darnold last night. I mean, there's a bunch of different options here for teams to potentially add Sam Howell, if not as a bridge quarterback, then as a good backup. And if I was an NFL team and I was looking for a high-end backup quarterback, Sam Howell's a great option because he's affordable, immensely affordable as a 5th-round pick. He's somebody that has experience in the National Football League, somebody that's not afraid to throw the ball down the field. And honestly, I think Howell's a better quarterback than Mariota, but it seems like Cliff Kingsbury, Dan Quinn, and Adam Peters disagree with me on that one as they went out and signed Marcus Mariota today. So here's the thing, man. I think that when it comes to Marcus Mariota, he is the type of quarterback that fits a system that is conducive to a running quarterback. All right, and if we look at the options for the Washington Commanders at number 2 overall, the best rushing quarterback that's going to be available is Jayden Daniels. So there's a lot of people making that connection here that because Marcus Mariota is more of an athletic rushing type quarterback, that means that they are going to be taking Jayden Daniels at number 2 overall in the 2024 NFL Draft. And honestly, guys, this is probably the best evidence that we have had thus far that Daniels could be the pick at number 2, all right? He's got the massive athleticism that we all know. I think that he's got massive upside as like a taller version of Lamar Jackson. In fact, he is a better prospect coming out than Lamar was, and I honestly think his rushing ability would challenge Lamar as like the 2nd or 3rd best rushing quarterback in the National Football League right away. I think he's that special as a rusher. All right, but I'm still a Drake May guy because I do think that his floor is higher. I think that he still has a super high ceiling. I think he's got a great arm. I think that he's got great instincts throwing the ball over the middle of the field, something that Jayden Daniels struggles with on his film at LSU. So I do want to go get Drake May personally, but I would also be okay with Daniels. I've said this on the show. As long as they get either Drake May or Jayden Daniels, you go into next season with a lot of optimism and hope for the future of the Washington Commanders franchise. And I'd be good with either one of them because, yes, I would rather go get May, but Daniels is a super dynamic, super great deep ball. He's got a bunch of great attributes as a quarterback prospect, and I would love to add him to this roster if that is the decision from GM Adam Peters and head coach Dan Quinn. So grade this signing of Marcus Mariota for me down there in the comment section, man. A, B, C, D, or F. I'm going to personally give it a D, maybe a D minus, because I think that you're paying probably a little bit too much for somebody that has not played well over the last 2 seasons. And I would have rather had Sam Howell as a cheaper, better option as the QB2 next year. But now it seems like they might be trading Sam Howell, so we'll keep you guys updated with any updates on Sam Howell and his trade status right here on the channel. And then before I go here, we did sign another player this morning here. The Commanders have also signed Clelin Ferrell, a rotational defensive lineman. He can play on the edge in the 4-3. He can play at 5 technique in the 3-4. So, he's pretty versatile in that regard, and that's something that Dan Quinn definitely likes. That's why he got Dorrance Armstrong, because he brings that versatility as well. So I think Ferrell's going to be a part of the rotation, but I don't think the Commanders are done building the defensive line position at the edge rusher position. I mean, at the end of the day, if you got Dorrance Armstrong as your number 1 and Clelin Ferrell as your number 2 edge rushers heading into the season, That's not something that I like particularly, all right, man? So I do think that the Commanders need to go out and make at least one more move at the edge rusher position here in free agency. And if they do that, we're going to have a breaking news video right here on the Commanders Report. So make sure you click that subscribe button. This was already our 5th breaking news video throughout these last 2 days of free agency. My guess is we're going to have even more throughout the coming days. So make sure you click that subscribe button and join our family for breaking news coverage.